is because Weaver's the natural vessel carrier of the team, and they want him to get it as soon as possible against 20 Savage Morph.
All right, we're going to see what happens in this game. I'm fascinated by both these drafts. Very interested in the Dazzle.
They're running under fire. Always under fire. Well, they've got the saves for the fire here, Mike. They've got the Shallow Grave. They've got eventually the Time Lapse down line with the Ags build up. They've got the Solar Guardian on top.
That was a good idea, John.
Hey, it's the light novel meta. You know, a lot of light novels might as well just be a sentence strapped onto a book. That's what they're doing now, and you can see why that's taking up Cuckoo's time. If the title's that long, the anime must be a longer watch as well. Maybe.
I imagine so, as mid lane, Raging will run up to Carl, but won't be much to it. Oh, they actually went with the Cuckoo photo. I didn't know they went with this sticker.
Yeah.
That just makes it even better for me. So I'm going to have to take the wallet out right after this game, John. T1. Fantastic, fantastic job. Oh, that Cuckoo face. You know, sometimes, John, you do something stupid when you're young. You've just got to embrace it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Just embrace it.
Pretty much. They've even got the ignition sticker out as well for Rightmon. And
Oh, goodness me. It's the
I can't
Cuckoo
take this.
face, though. It kills me. It's killing me.
Can you imagine you go gank in, get the kill, just drop this? Don't even drop it after the kill, just drop it in the gank, right when you go in, just drop it. Who
That's
cares
why I'm
about
buying it,
actually
John.
using your spell? It's just use the sticker.
That's why I'm going to buy it. It's mid lane, Carl and Raging. They'll give each other a high five as we do get into it. Top lane, there could be some action though, as Arfu has shown up with mid one and Rogin. They do land the Starbreaker onto Whitemon, but Arfu, he's dropping very low now, and First Blood will already go the way of Zephyr, as they might find Whitemon, but it is going to be a much better trade here for T1, as they do walk away with the bonus gold. And that'll be a very happy tree in Zephyr. One trying to bait them forward, as now Zephyr may have gone too forward. With that poison touch, they've just got so much slow here from Roger. Zephyr might just turn now though. Roger, have you gone too far? He'll try and keep going, but it's not going to be enough. Hands up from Zephyr, but no high five will come. But he got something better, John. He'll get the kill onto Roger, and he'll get a free salve out from Cuckoo.
Yeah, they get to stay in lane. You're really low here for mid one, all out of regen, only having the Fairy Fire. Did you manage to get the dive bot though?
Yeah, Raging Potato able to pick one up here onto Whitemon, so a bit of sweet revenge now as they do move in onto Savage. They do have the urn up there on Raging, so they want to try and take down this Morphling while they still can. But do they have the damage output? Well, they're going to try, but Savage does get the stun out. Raging is completely committed to trying to make sure he does secure this kill, and in the end they might just find it. Great persistence out from SMG.
Is on the side lanes and relieves some of that pressure on mid one. He's at that point where he can do that. Phase boots up. We'll see if he'll rush the Javelin next. They are going on to
Carl. That's a big pick off mid lane. He's the highest CS on the board right now. And Carl, he has no chance of survivals. They just dive him. SMG starting to get aggressive on their own end of things. In fact, they might even go after Whitemon now, or even Cuckoo. That Queen of Pain, as they do show up to make sure they defend this mid-tier 1 tower. But Raging, he will Sakuchi through and just get the vision out with the Spirit Vessel already up. He's got plenty of damage available, but he may have gone too far now as Zephyr. He's going to be around, but they will glimpse him back. Whitemon, though, still going to go down as Arfu, able to pick up the kill with the Celestial Hammer, and now it's onto Zephyr. They found that pesky tree, and they should be able to get him too as Carl. He's going to try and rotate. Back in onto Arfu they go. They will finally get the Dawnbreaker down. But it does still seem very worthwhile for the side of SMG. Is Raging, he's not done yet. He'll keep up the vision onto Carl. Not going to be able to find him. Raging fine for now, but Zephyr, he's going to have a look through this tree line and eventually is going to spot him out. Raging, how well can you juke out? They'll drop down the sentry, give the vision over, and eventually they will catch out the Weaver, but now the rotations, they'll come in. SMG, they'll try to fight this one out, but it may have been wishful thinking as they'll lose two straight off the bat, and Moon, well, he'll be the third. Oh, they tried. T1, stand around, make sure those towers are defended. Oh, Carl, though, he may have gone too far. They should have the damage to try and take down this Razor. Zephyr, though, he will drop the ulti and try to help out, but Carl, he's still ticking down. Remnants forward. Moon, so close yet so far. He needs one more tick of damage, but he's not going to be able to get it. Or maybe he can, but no, Carl. He will drop eventually, but Moon is the first one to go as Raging. They want to go for a big smoke up into that die triangle. Scan is out. They're going to find some targets, so they won't break the smoke yet. They'll wrap around the long way and try to just sneak their way into that triangle, into mid one if they can. Great place from T1 so far as mid one. He's going to be spotted. The jump is there. Silence out. Static Storm not going to hold him in though, but the glimpse back is out onto mid one now with the static link mid one. He needs some help right here, right now. Solar Guardian, it'll come in and buy more time as he survives, but he's completely out of mana. Shallow Grave now out though. He is still alive. Can they take him out? A big sonic wave from Cuckoo as mid one. He is still trying, but eventually does end up dropping as now they'll turn their attention onto Raging Potato, but he'll make it out. B is mid one. Now going to get spotted out. Savage will move right in. They'll get the swarm out onto that Medusa. Roger, he'll be right behind, but he needs to get within range now as the Stone Gaze is going to be popped. Sonic Wave there. He's almost out of mana, but he is making his way out as Moon. He'll take the gank and just start fighting for his carry. Make sure he survives, and he does at least for now, but Savage, he's not done yet on the Morphling moving back in, but it may have been a mistake. Can he survive through it? It's a lot of damage onto the Morphling, but Savage is still alive as mid one. He's been used up again, just surrounded here by T1. He just can't catch a break as they jump the backside. They make sure Roger cannot help out. Cuckoo just silencing up the Dazzle, and mid one does eventually drop. They have found Cuckoo though on that Queen of Pain, but T1 are happy to oblige and keep the fight going. Back onto the Ember. Moon, he'll barely survive, but Arfu cannot. The double kill is there for the Razor.
SMG's going to have to find a way to fix that up, but it doesn't feel like they've got any easy items to pick to fix this.
Shotgun out onto mid one, but Remnant's forward. Moon, he wants to go for the fight right onto Whitemore with the BKB out. He needs to remove that Static Storm, but he's been rooted up again. Zephyr found him, but the Shallow Grave will keep him alive, but now the Static Storm drop. They control Moon. He will end up dropping as Cuckoo. He'll jump right into the backside, right after mid one on that Deucer, but can they find him? BKB out, Carl. He'll go for the chase. Meanwhile, towards the south, they are dealing with Raging as Roger now. He will go down on that Dazzle. They'll leave mid one Bs. They'll try to go back in onto Arfu and just deal that Dawnbreaker, and they may just as Arfu. He's been slowed up and is going to drop as mid one. He thought he was safe on the high ground, but that is not going to be the case. Not against Master Cuckoo, who blinks right in but blinks right back out. He's just not confident when Roger does buy back on that Dazzle. So they'll go back after that tier 2 mid tower. They sneak over. Nice ward out from Whitemon. That'll give the vision onto the Medusa, but instead they might go for after another, or maybe not. Mid one, he's targeted. He's just been completely just taken out as T1 delete him. SMG had no idea what was going on. They just did not react fast enough. They're still trying to fight as the buyback is there from mid one. They've lost Arfu and Roger though. Can they really take this fight? They're still going to try. Just chase down Carl on that Razor, but he'll be fine for now. And now the overgrowth out. Cuckoo with the Sonic Wave does take out Moon, and they even found Raging. In fact, mid one, he'll be the 5th to drop. They call it. They have seen enough, and T1 make quick work of SMG in this game, number one. I'll tell you what, man. John, they may have been watching anime after TI. It just doesn't seem to matter, though.
No, it certainly doesn't. Looks like T1 form is still in check. SMG. That's an adorable little doll, but SMG.
Everyone's been picking this recently in pubs, but I don't think I've seen it like a load of times.
Yeah, Core Spirit Breaker too.
Solo was playing as a 5 a lot, actually.
Yeah,
I mean, it's core this game, but
Solo did not win as a 5.
That doesn't matter. He picked it. He picked it, and he showed it to Hero.
But in the earlier series, Enigma Galaxy were playing a lot of offlane Spirit Breaker.
John, let's talk about the drafts. Which one do you prefer? Because I haven't had the chance to ask you the hard question in a while. Which draft's better?
It's a tough one to decide. I think both teams came out with really strong drafts. I love the last pick, Spirit Breaker from SMG. This is a Raging Potato special. We saw him do this a lot with Execration in BTS Pro Series 7, if I recall right. And he had a spectacular time playing for Execration then. So this is something they can ride on. We know mid one said, in my interview when I talked to him, he said, you've got a Pinoy offlaner, so a lot riding there for Raging. And when you give him a special hero, could enable. I think they've got a better death ball than SMG. T1, pause once, really just want to build up and hit their item spikes.
He tethered back to Cuckoo to try and help out, but that may cost him his life, and it does. Roger just so persistent on that Abaddon, and of course mid one loves.
They're going to contest over the water runes as well.
They're going to try. Carl, he'll be chased down here with Moon just spirit siphoning up. They do get the swarm out. They might dive tier 1 towers for this as Carl. He's a very valuable target. In fact, Ronja's even shown up now on that Abaddon, and they will get him. Afu and Roger just great rotate him out. More rotations in, T1. They're going to keep trying. Laguna there from Carl, going to take out one. Roger's gone. In fact, Afu now. He does get caught by that Light Strike array. Tips out from Cuckoo as mid one. He's been left behind. Carl, can he land another nice stun? He may just. He's got that extra movement speed from Zephyr. But Raging is going to show up, and now the Eclipse is going to be committed, but mid one, he's still dropping and does go down as more tips to come out. Raging Potato now, he needs his own exit, but he's not going to have it. Nightmare is there to set up. So Carl goes for a Dragon Slave instead. It may not matter though. Raging though, he does have charge back up, but he will charge back towards Cuckoo. And eventually Carl will be able to finish off the job. That's confidence right there from Arlena.
Both these farming cores, and now it's Savage. Chase down,
chase
charge on
down.
top as well.
Mana's low as well. Raging, he'll be there with the Nether Strike, but he'll hold out for now as now he does commit. Nightmare is there from Whitemon. Savage still dropping Zephyr. He'll try to help keep alive as the Fiend's Grip is going to be out. They'll try to turn now. Raging, he's going to go down first. In fact, Moon, he may have gone too far on that DP. He's very low on HP himself as Cuckoo now. He'll rejoin the fight to boot with the side of T1. They'll just dive right in. Light Strike array out. It does catch the Abaddon. Moon's gone, and Roger, he'll be the third target. Savage just barely surviving thanks to Zephyr. G. Into the mid lane they go. 23 Savage is going to be spotted as Moon is invis right now. The charge is going to come in. They want to focus down the Medusa, but Cuckoo, he'll pop the ulti, and now the silencer's out. They may lose Moon straight off the bat. He'll try to use up. It's not going to be enough though, and the Stone Gaze, it's going to petrify everybody as they catch Afu, but he does get the Aphotic Shield time lapse, but it's not going to be enough. Carl finds him mid-invis, and now they've got mid one in the Nightmare. They'll take everybody else out. Mid one's the last one left. He'll try to man fight through it with the Aegis up. Maybe they could try to reinitiate, but it's not looking great for them as mid one will be left behind. Roger, he's still trying. Raging, he'll charge in. Mid one, he's on the run, and he might just make it, but Savage, he'll keep getting to work. Back on a Roger. They'll get a dieback. In fact, they're not done yet. Relocate was there onto Raging Potato, but they're having a look for mid one. And mid one does run into the triangle and kind of jukes them out. This will allow T1 to get that mid tier 1 tower. As SMG, they don't want to let this one go down. Mid one, he's going to come back in and maybe bait, but mid one, you are getting very low, sir. He does back off at the right moment. In fact, Raging, he does find the IO, but Moon again, just dropping so darn low to the Laguna. Can they burst him down? Not quite yet, but Cuckoo, he'll go back in after Raging Potato, or will he? Crippling Fear is there. They want the DP down. Mid one, he'll reinitiate. Just lose some beams from a mile away. Just trying to stay alive and just get some damage out. But now they've got the Nightmare. Mid one, he's gone too far. He might be punished for this, and it looks like he will be Carl. He will be so as well, as he does end up dropping to SMG. So you take Carl's life, but you give up mid one. You got to question whether that's really worthwhile as Whitemon. He'll keep going onto Afu, but the charge is there from Raging. Back in onto the Bane. They want that support gone, but Raging, he's gone too far to boot. In fact, they've got another Afu. He was Nightmare up, and Whitemon, he'll walk away with a triple kill on the Bane. It does get started. Raging will go for a charge out onto Savage. Nether Strike going to be cancelled off. Keep in mind though, Raging, he does have the Ags up, and that's going to make life a little bit more challenging for T1. That Ags, it can be really game-changing in these fights. As Cuckoo, he pops the ulti immediately, and they go on to Zephyr. The IO's gone straight off the bat. Nice start here for SMG. T1, do you want to keep this fight up? I mean, they've already committed the Dark Ascension, and it is just kind of expiring slowly but surely. And the SMG, they know this. They want to reinitiate. Back on the Savage, but he'll turn around and just go for the man fight. As now Carl, he does get silenced up. A big charge out, but it was onto an illusion. Savage is still fine, but they've got Afu down. Now to turn back in onto the breaker. In fact, never mind him. You want Roger first, and you'll get him. They're just holding that high ground on that Radiant Triangle. But buybacks are going to be there, and the charge is immediate back in onto Whitemon. He'll try to Glimmer Cape. It shouldn't be quite enough. It's Whitemon. He'll try to go for a run, but they've got to find a way to try and save Savage now. But he has been left behind. And Savage will drop, and John, would you believe it? There is a DD rune before Roshan. They might find Mid1 and Roger by themselves. The rest of the team, they're across the map right now. Uh-oh, Mid1 and Roger, they've got to run, but nobody's going to be coming in to help out. They do at least have Raging charging in, but it may be too late for at least the first life. It will go down, TP's in, they're trying to make their way over. Mid1, he'll pop the Eclipse, but it might be all too late as the Light Strike Ray is going to come in and they've lost their Luna. Oh, the humanity. SMG, they try to smoke across the map at the wrong time. And T1, they read them like a book. Tips out. It's not really Mid1's fault though, John, but tips are out as Moon now. He'll get caught by the Fiend's grip of Whitemon. And the pain is quite extreme here with Cuckoo just whacking away. Carl, who else are we going to find, sir? So they're after Raging Potato. Raging, okay to just run his...
Smoke up, their cooldowns are so low, they can just keep going.
They will. He's there, Carl. He'll Silver Edge, and now the Dark Ascension out. Arthur, he'll be spotted first. Dust is out onto the waiver. Roger, he'll get caught as well. No borrow time available. He'll drop straight off the bat. Raging, he'll try to turn back in onto Cuckoo, and they will get the Night Stalker. It's not a bad trade for SMG thus far. T1 second guessing as to whether they can keep going, but Carl again gonna find the Weaver, but Arfu, he's gonna be alright with the time lapse out, and now the Eclipse in from Mid1. They'll try, in fact, the Eclipse was still off cooldown. They will throw it out now onto Savage, but he's fine. In fact, Moon, he'll be the one to drop, and Raging, he's been caught by the Stone Gaze, but he'll try to run as Carl, he takes down Arfu on that Weaver eventually, and Mid1, he's been left behind. And with the Eye of Skadi Slow from Savage, Mid1 is not going to be able to run fast enough to get away. Tips are out again.
Without the Eclipse, it just feels like you don't have much to offer, so they're going to have to surrender at least one sack, maybe two if T1 commits.
Carl, he's going to be the target here on that lane on Mid1. He'll come in, but you've got no Eclipse, and the Petrify immediately out as Mid1 just melts. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Carl there, John. It was not too bright. T just completely disappears, and well, Savage, he's onto the tier 4 towers now. 29 minutes in. Why the hell not? They've hit their timing just perfectly, and T1, they understand how strong they are at the moment. SMG, they'll try one more time to defend and buy time for their carry to be back up and online. Raging will charge in. That's not going to be quite enough though, as Carl just with the damage output onto Roger, forcing him back to the fountain already. Another charge out onto Zephyr. They'll try and take down that IO immediately with the Ghost Scepter. No, it's not going to be enough, but it won't matter. Arfu's gone. He'll commit a buyback here on Zephyr as Moon. He just keeps rushing forward, but there's no damage output as they've called the GG. And T1 taking 2 games, 30 minutes each. And I'll tell you, John, I mean, SMG, they show some signs of brilliance, but T1, they are just a class above.
Yeah, they play insanely well in T1's end. You know, it looked a bit rough in the early game, right? Like they couldn't